Here is a case of bilateral renal stone disease in 44-year-old female patient. Creatinine normal, came with raised TLC and right loin pain. Grossly enlarged right side kidney with large stone impacted in the upper ureter. However, DTPA function 22% was shown in the right kidney, even though it was thinned out parenchyma, maybe because of the obstruction. DMSA 21% function. Right ultrasound guided PCN was done first due to pain and fever and raised TLC. Then after 2 weeks, left sided supine PCNL first planned because it is important functioning kidney. This is a picture of the RGP. Lower calyx is preferred because large part of the stone is in the lower calyx. Classical supine PCNL is done. Initially guide wire was going out, but it was coiling in the PCS also. Small amount of contrast leak. Even then we did dilatation and went with 7.5 French nephroscope. Once we confirmed that the stones are there, one rod is kept here and over the rod redilatation done up to 18 French super perc sheath, and then with super perc sheath nephroscope is used and the stones were removed with standard lithotripsy. Even though this RGP is upper pole is quite angulated, after the stone breaking in the calyx as well as the pelvis, we could easily reach the upper calyx. So entire stone is kept in the upper calyx. Entire kidney was edematous. Mucosa was friable. So when we are doing the pelvic stone, there wasn't any problem. Middle calyx could not be approached. 2 stones were there in the middle calyx. So we finished the pelvic stone. Some part of the stone migrated into the upper calyx like this, and one stone has perforated the mucosa and went out. Carefully, rest of the stones in the calyx are removed like this. Only 1 or 2 times forceps used. Rest of all the things came by gravity. This is the small perforation in the mucosa. One small stone was stuck in the mucosa. Carefully with gently we have removed that stone. After that, inspected the perforated cavity, nothing was there. Then these are the small 2 stones. Then flexible ureteroscopy is done to go into the middle calyx, as the lower calycial from the lower calyx we are not able to go into the middle calyx. We have seen most often from the lower calyx in supine PCNL we can go to the upper calyx but not into middle calyx. This is the middle calyx. We can show in the RGP also the flexible scope going into the middle calyx with an acute angle. It is powdered. All the powder was sucked from the super perc sheath, and at the end complete clearance was noted, stent placed. Then in the same setting, because the PCN was there, we tried to do ureteroscopy and supine PCNL. In ureteroscopy, the stone was very large, very hard stone, densely impacted. That's why it damaged the kidney so much. So it is broken, but the fragments were not at all going up. Then we tried to remove some of the fragments, then use laser also to gently, not to perforate with pneumatic lithotripter, but it was taking long time. Then again pneumatic lithotripter is used carefully, not to injure the ureter. So after multiple attempts, the stone is pushed into the pelvis and the ureteroscope could easily go into the pelvis. Now because the stone is very large and hard, we approached through the PCN tract again, which was there in the lower pole, and then after intense searching in the pelvis, we could not identify any pelviureteric junction except this secondary stone which was there. So we thought it's high riding pelvis, so we searched a lot of time in the pelvis. It's a ballooned out, but this stone is seen which is pushed from below. Then the stone is pulverized and taken out through the again super perc access sheath. Now we passed a guide wire from below which has come out into the pelvis. So we tried to identify through the pelvis. Ultimately, the ureteroscope and then the guide wire has come into the pelvic ileal system. Then guide wire is taken out. Following that guide wire, we went. It was like intussusception. This is the intussuscepted region where the ureteroscope is also seen, but there was lot of difficulty in negotiating the nephroscope into the many times it is going into the dilated pelvic ileal system. Now this is the way the ureteric orifice was protruding into the lumen of the pelvis, most probably because of PUJ or high riding pelvis, but in RGP it is not shown. This is the ureteroscope from below, flexible ureteroscope. Then this is a flexible ureteroscope. Then both flexible ureteroscopy guided entry of the nephroscope into the ureter done. Lot of fragments were there. They are all removed. Every time entry was difficult into the upper ureter through the pelvis because of the guide wire was giving clue. If the guide wire was not there, we were not able to enter into the pelvis. The ureter was opening probably high, but in RGP it was not reflecting. After ensuring that the ureter, the stone in the ureteric area where it was impacted completely cleared, then we passed a stent, and post-operatively nephrostomy was not draining. This is the picture. Which showed both ureteroscope and nephroscope together. Now the stent is placed. Easily stent has gone. Stent properly placed in the pelvis, baggy pelvis, and after that nephrostomy is kept. This is the position at the end. Post-operative CT scan. This is the RGP and nephrostogram. Hugely dilated system. Post-operative CT scan has shown complete stone clearance except 2 mm fragments in the left side in the middle calyx where RIRS is done, and patient both the PCNs are removed and discharged. Thank you.